Hello guys and welcome to a new Wargame video today by me and Val.
Hello.
Today we have a 1 versus 1 on Putty Field, and this is another one of the round 2 1v1 Reddit Open tournament games, and in this one we're going to be seeing Firestarter versus Entech. So Val, take us through the decks.
Well, almost like a mirror in the last game, because we've got Israel versus Yugo. Now, this doesn't. I don't think this is a Entente deck. I think this is just Yugoslavia. But Firestarter, being the proud Yugo descendant that he is a big fan of Yugoslavia. So, I mean, he played it in the. I mean, I can't remember the name of the tournament, but there was like was it a 2v2 or 1v1 a while ago where he played nothing but Yugo and managed to win. One of the Faustman ones, I think. Yeah.
I'd expect him to know the deck inside out, that's for sure. Over on the blue side though, yeah, Israel, and we see Macabre 3B at the start from Entech already. He's going to be using the BTR 152 to bring in those ATGM carry, or the ATGMs. Got the Ram Recce in there. Ram Recce, I really like that change that they made in Wargame, where they made a lot of the carriers that carry recon infantry into recon themselves. It made recon like so much more cost efficient. It's really nice.
It did, because you can cover like a really wide front with them now, because you can actually use your combat recon infantry to do like combat recon jobs, and then dump your Ram Recce on the side, and you won't have to spend like valuable infantry to cover off a side when you can just dump like a kind of otherwise not very useful transport.
Yeah, and on the red side of things with Firestarter, he's going to be relying on the M8 Greyhound there, alongside the T55 for his recon. He's also got the Spat Bovs. He's got some of his own HGMs alongside some more recon there. And it looks like he's going for a 2 CV start, which is interesting to see.
It is, but Entech's going for 2 CVs as well. He's got a... I'm not entirely sure why you'd bring a infantry CV in a helicopter to go to Charlie, but I mean, fair enough.
Well, it might just be so that he can, hide them in the buildings. You do have all of those compounds there. It's very easy to dodge around with the command infantry.
It's not the infantry CV. It's more the thing he's bringing it in. I just think it's kind of a waste of points when you could bring it in a little cheaper. But one thing I want to see, and I'm not sure if Firestarter's changed his opinion on this, is he's got 2 OT M60Ps in the top side. With I'm gonna bet drugs. Not the cocaine kind, the ATGM kind, because actually, what am I about? Of course, he's playing Yugoslavia. He can only bring drugs, can't he? Okay. Yeah. Moving along.
What were you going to say about the drugs though, compared to the other?
Well, I was going to compare them to the Conkers M that the Czechs get, but then I remembered that he's only playing Yugo, which is still a bit of a weird Firestarter thing. I think you're probably better off just playing Entente in any situation, really. Yeah,
well, M84AN still available, a very strong recon tank, and he still gets the Savas, which are the superb infrared AA, so there are still some great things going for the Yugo deck. They just miss out on the great stuff that comes with the Czech deck. I guess the main thing though with Yugo is that if you're playing Yugo and not Entente, is that you get more activation points, don't you? So he might have more stuff available to him throughout the game.
You do. I think it is general consensus though that you're probably better off going with the Entente, but it's it's still a fine deck and really good for 1v1s.
This Ram Recce is going ham, trying to get into this town before the OT tab 71, but that's going to be a Padabranci versus some Maglands, and the Ram Recce gets blown up, and that kills off half the squad already. So Maglands versus Padabranci, and also those BVPs. Not going to make that Magland last very long, but the Macabre now coming up. Oh yeah, something to say. Takes out that unit very quickly, and they've got the Macabre 2A moving into the trees there. We've also got the Zeldas, but that Padabranci did not last very long at all.
They didn't last very long, but he took 4 HP off that Macabre 3B, and that's a pretty big deal. I'm expecting to see Firestarter get a super gleb here, and if he can take out that Macabre 3B, he's in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, there isn't actually like a solid amount of anti-air here. He's got 1 Macbeth, but that's not going to be enough to probably shoot down a super gleb, unless the super gleb hangs right over it. But yeah, that Macabre 3B very vulnerable right now. The T55 was exchanging with the Tyran 5 Blazer, managed to take that down to less than half health. T55 continuing on to the Zeldas. I think Entech's just trying to get the 3B into line of sight to take that out. so it stops picking off his APCs. But we do see the Macabre 2A here moving up, and that's going to get picked off by the Pez in the side armor. Those 2 rockets taking that out, and that's a very expensive like troop carrier to lose early on in the game.
I mean, this is a really big deal for Firestarter here, because it was actually looking a little bit grim, because this bottom push is really, really strong. But Firestarter's got this really big presence in this top forest, and with that Macabre 2A going down, Entech has to really play a bit more carefully.
Yeah, so there was a big sort of disparity of forces, but Firestarter's really managed to make his cheap infantry pay off there by taking out that tank. And in the top side there is a large amount of units. We've got the OT spotting the Dorban LR as they used that to fire at the APC in the open. Padabrancy though moving up, and the M8 Greyhound's moving up with its recon. So I think Firestarter is pretty comfortable with his position in the top side, and it won't be long until he gets a decent position in the bot side either.
Interestingly, Entech's brought in a CV for Foxtrot, which is a bit premature if you ask me. He's not got any real control over Alpha. And Firestarter's got a decent bit of control over Foxtrot, and what that means is that if Firestarter can push down to Bravo now, he's going to have more points in total that he can contest.
Yeah, watch out for this Padabrancy though. That could easily jump forwards and use the Bombar to attack the Macabre 3B and do some serious damage there if Entech doesn't pay attention. I'm pretty sure Entech's not going to let that happen. The Macbeth's going to go down though, and that's still a very decent kill for the Padabrancy.
It is if he only loses 1 man as well. That's just kind of showing just how good that Bombar is. 26 AP at 1050 meter range. It's not often you get them. Oh my god, well, there we go. I was about to say it's not often when people let you get them in range of their heavy tanks, but I mean, Entech dropping the ball massively here. This is just completely
the 3B side shot by the Padabrancy 90 Bombar system. Also, this Yasuo is really weird. I'm not entirely sure what that's there for, maybe to resupply these Maglan squads, but I guess it was also trying to repair the 3B, but considering that's constantly under fire, it makes you wonder whether that was worth the 35 points to bring in. L15M as well coming in to drop some bombs over the bottom side of Foxtrot.
Yep, takes out a Dorban LR squad, so now there's only really 1 Macabre 1 that's any kind of proper defense here. And, I mean, Firestarter's going to take Foxtrot, I think. I mean, to be fair, I think Firestarter's won this game at this point.
Yeah, that
might be a bold prediction, but
that 3B going down on the bottom side has given Firestarter so much map control here. Those Maglans, yes, they're going to be annoying. The Givati's going to be a pain in the ass to get rid of, and the Yasuo is still resupplying all of that down there. But eventually, he's just going to be able to surround it, take out that town. He'll have the bombers to just get rid of those units without having to directly engage them. And yeah, that would be pretty simple for him to deal with. And then he's got his control in Bravo now. There's another Anafa coming in with another recon squad. These are very expensive recon squads to be bringing in at this point.
I mean, what he's really missing is he should be spamming out the Robot 19 as Elders.
Yeah.
That's what he needs right now, and I think it's a little too late, to be honest.
Yeah, so he's brought up another Maglan squad for this compound to the left side of Bravo, but what he really needs is like some serious substance, doesn't he? And now the BTR-40 Pickard in Foxtrot has been forced out because it was spotted by the Proletary moving through the sector there. Also, we see the M84AN engaging the Macabre 1, and that's been deterred. But the Barak going to be coming in with the infrared missiles there, are going to get the kill onto the M84. Can the Sava shoot it down? No, it can't, but it's definitely going to take it a long time to repair, that's for sure.
I mean, that is a very, very well-timed Barak, because without that, this sector would be completely lost. But even still, the Proletary 90 and Mahani Zovana have got into the Foxtrot Forest, and this is looking really bad for Entech.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too much infantry here to stop this from pushing forwards. And like this Macabre 1 is only on like 3 health. So even like the Pez could do the damage there, and BTR-152 is pushing forwards first to sponge one of those shots, but Macabre 1's still got to be careful as well.
It definitely does. I mean, it's been hit a few times, it's only 3 HP, and the rocket on the Mahani Zavana isn't really that strong, but it's strong enough to probably kill it in 2-3 shots.
Yeah, so we'll see if it does. It's slowly creeping up there to take on the tank. The M8 Greyhound moving in the top side. Here we go, there's a shot. That's going to be 1 health down. I think he's got to land like 3 rockets in a row to actually kill off the Macabre one, honestly, but there we go. We've also got the Tyran 5 Blazer coming in there to cover it off. BTR-40 moves back into Foxtrot. It's interesting to wonder whether or not Firestarter actually saw that coming, because he does have the M8 Greyhound there that possibly saw that move in.
I think he knows where it has to be, because it can't be in this forest by him. So it's got to be at the other end, for sure. I think he knows that.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be surprised to see like an L-15 come in maybe and try and go for the bombing strike there. But in Bravo, full control over to Firestarter. There's still those few units in Alpha, but he's literally just ignoring them. That's all he needs to do at this point. And he's just trying to secure his spot in Bravo by bringing up some reinforcements. He's also got an M84 coming down to challenge the Macabre 1 at Charlie.
He does. He did actually lose an M84 to that Maglan squad in Alpha earlier, which was a bit of a mistake. But again, when you're in this sort of position, it doesn't really matter too much.
Yeah, there's just a lot of units coming in to reinforce. He's also got a command unit, Firestarter, coming into Alpha to capture that. And I don't think there's much of a chance of NTech pushing Alpha, so it's pretty safe to have that in the backside of that sector. And if these Gavati come forwards, they're just going to be bumping into this infantry and the OTM 60PB there, which is actually doing quite a lot of damage to the Gavati at the moment.
It is, yeah. They've one of the squads has been stunned, and the L-15M is coming in. Probably going to hit where that Barkhan is, so that he can't jump back.
Yeah, so just going to be preemptively bombing where he thinks the infantry is going to jump back. The Larvae does come in with its own bombing strike. Did that even drop its bombs? No, it didn't. I think it was just used for anti-air then to try and engage the L-15. By the way, that Maglan squad's getting hit very hard by the Spatbov and the Proletari squad. The Gavati is slowly being cleaned out by the Pez, but just as I said, the Firestarter is going to be trying to use those bombs to clean out those squads, and the Macabre are actually going to be taking out a squad or a unit on the top side. What was that? Just a OT group carrier getting picked off at the top of Bravo. Finally going to be seeing some Zeldas come in to Bravo, but it's definitely a bit late for that.
It's really late. Alavi's come in, and it's just such a bad buy. So NTech, if you're watching this, if you're behind on the ground, you don't want to buy really expensive bombers, because 150 points, you could buy like 10 squads of arrive at 19 Zeldas, and that's what you need right now.
Yeah,
this bombing strike's
he's just going for the bombing strike onto Firestarter's CV, but Firestarter knows better than to leave his CV to the death of that, so just going to be quickly moving out of the way, moving it back into the sector. Gavati are going to be cleaned out of Alpha, and then Alpha is going to be fully under the control of Firestarter. So I'm not entirely sure what NTech's going to be going for here. The Padabranci still firing the Bumbar at the Macabre 2A as it comes towards it. Can it get the second shot and kill? Yes, it can. So another Macabre 2A going to be going down near Foxtrot, which is another massive kill.
I mean, honestly, this has been over since earlier on when Firestarter killed that Macabre 3B. It's not often that I can safely call a game from the initial engagements, but it not good.
Yeah, if we look at like the overall presence on the map, it's just totally in Firestarter's favour at the moment, because he has way more units on the top side and on the bottom side, and just because all of NTech's units have been so expensive and they've just been picked off by these HGMs, it literally leaves him in such a bad position in terms of just being purely outnumbered by units that are just going to end up overrunning him. And this Padabranci still being alive in the bottom side of Foxtrot is really a big thing, because it basically cuts NTech's defense in half at Foxtrot. And I'm pretty sure Firestarter could go for a decent push there, but that's being constantly reinforced. Maybe he'll just go for the push through Bravo and make sure he has that secured, and then be able to bring up CVs for both Golf and Bravo.
Now, normally I'm a big fan of trying to push into Charlie from the top side, where Golf is. But when you're this far ahead in Bravo, I think you just steamroll straight through. I think he's got the material.
Yeah, we'll have to see how these Gavati squads do, though, against the Proletari 90 and the Pez there. The Gavati should win these engagements quite convincingly. The Proletari is going down very hard there. The Barak, ooh, that was came in, hit one of its shots onto the M84, then the Magland finished it off with the Spike MR, so I thought the Barrack wasn't going to get the kill there and Firestarter would get away with that, but the Magland making sure that didn't happen. The Gavati though, now being pinned down briefly,
What is this
but are
CV
going to
bot?
finish off the Pez.
Entech, please, no more CVs. This is not a sector you can put your CV in. That is waste
And
of
the
points.
L15 coming in again with the cluster and the other bombs there. The cluster munitions and the HE bombs just going to be blowing up one of the Gavati squads and finishing off one of the Zeldas. But yeah, that buy of the Pickard there, I'm not entirely sure what that's trying to achieve. Maybe he's just trying to go for the extra +1. But maybe it's just in response to Golf being taken by Firestarter. He's maybe a bit desperate that he doesn't want to get too far behind on conquest points. Ideally, that would have been put into more Gavati, basically to push out this Bravo sector, because those Gavati are pretty much going to beat off the majority of the infantry Firestarter can provide.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this time and time again in previous games, but people need to stop being afraid of having like a -1 tick against them. Because people see that little green number on Firestarter's name and they're like, oh my god, what do I do? I'm going to lose this game, I'm behind on points. You're going to be even further behind on points when this Padabranchi 90 squad kills your BTR command, so it's not worth it.
Yeah, and the L15 coming in again for another bombing strike. That's going to be trying to finish off the Gavati. Actually misses this time, but that BTR 40 Pickard is driving straight towards that Padabranchi, just like you said. Barrack's going to be coming over, going to be hit by the Paraka and the Sava, and the Spatbov there finishing off that Barrack. So that's a plane, very expensive plane going down there. And the Larvi's going to be moving up the top side for a bombing strike. That's going to be going for a bombing strike onto the Paraka and the Sava. I'm not entirely sure if that was wise. It's going to take out the Paraka, but it's not going to take out the Sava.
Oh my god, oh, I thought that survived then.
Yeah, the last bomb. Waiting to the last minute to show its colours. But either way, the L15M going to be coming in there to take out the Macabre. The two cluster munitions going to be taking out the Macabre 1. BTR-40 Pickard is going to be surviving. And the Padabranchi was taken down in the bottom side, probably by that Macabre.
The fact that that Macabre killed that Padabranchi squad is the only reason right now why the CV is here. But we can see a giant red tide just running down the mountainside anyway, so...
Yeah, M84 kills Tiran Blazer in the top side. M84 is now going to be engaging the Macabre. The drug squad's still doing a reasonable job here. Can that get a side shot onto the Macabre 1? Yes, it can. Macabre 1 goes down in Foxtrot as well. So these Gavati squads are still alive. Macabre 2A coming in with the Rivet 90. I'm not sure if this is the best bet against all of this infantry, but he probably doesn't see it all here, so he doesn't know quite the amount of infantry he's going to be coming up against, because that is a hell of a lot. Lots of Proletary 90s as well. Proletary 90s are great for taking out the Macabre 2As, and as you can see with Firestarter, what he's actually doing is he's turning off the machine gun so he can use the AT rifles immediately onto the Macabre 2As as soon as he spots them. We're also going to see the L15 come in there with its cluster munitions, do quite a lot of damage to the Macabre 2A. We're also going to be seeing a Zelda go down just after it drops off the Gavati, and finally the Macabre 2A goes down as well. And this just isn't looking great at all, the Entech, as he pushes up. He's also bringing up an Oshkosh. I'm not entirely sure why. What was that trying to resupply? I mean, he's just feeding it to
He's resupplying Firestarter.
Yeah. Like, these Gavati aren't going to run out of ammunition. Like, what was going to run out of ammunition? Maybe the Magland squad? But he's not pushing with like, any serious like armored units, so it's very odd. Either way, L15 comes in with the cluster munitions again and the double bombs and takes out one of the Gavati squads. That bombing strike from the Larvae took out a couple of squads as well, but Firestarter's still got the numerical advantage here, and now he's got the VVP on line of sight of the Gavati as well, so they're going to get demolished. Another L15. Firestarter's loving these planes. Going to be able to bomb out this Magland squad. Nice.
Oh, it takes out one as well. These L15s are really, really good. I think one of the most like cost-effective planes in terms of what it offers. I think Firestarter might be kicking himself here because he's like if he watches this back, because Charlie is so undefended right now. You could just walk this Proletariat across probably, and if you can kill that Macabre 1, you're all good.
Yeah, in general, like even Foxtrot It's just a Dorban LR and a Barkan at the top side now, since he took out the Makava that was defending it. And this Oshkosh, well, it's resupplying all of his infantry. Yeah, Entech just handing that over to Firestarter to allow him to resupply all of his infantry squads. You can see Firestarter smoking his way all the way across Foxtrot to get some more infantry over there. Those Proletari making the run for it. M84AN is going to be engaging the Macabre 1. L15 coming to bomb the top side of Foxtrot, going for the kill there. Going to be hitting the Yassur and killing it. The cluster munition just being enough to finish off that helicopter. Barak 2 coming in though and going to be shooting down one of the L15s.
I have to say, smoking kills. This is a real story. Smoking kills, and it doesn't kill you, it kills the enemy, because he just managed to put all these Pedabranchi 90 across, all these Proletari with no fire coming on them at all. Foxtrot is completely his now, although this Larvae might do a bit of work on the Pedabranchi.
He might be able to dodge it out if he spots it.
Yeah, maybe.
So he spotted that bombing strike coming in, managed to just get them out of the compound there in time before that came in. Gavati in that compound on the bottom side though, at Bravo, not having a fun time. So much fire support coming in onto them. And now he's got some ground into the next forest as well. So Firestarter making a lot of progress, that's for sure. And he's currently sitting on the +2. Things just haven't been looking great for Entech for the majority of the game now.
I think one of the problems that Entech's been having is that it seems like he's only bringing Gavati in these Elders. I would really recommend, if you're going to go against a deck like Yugoslavia, where they've got some of the most cost-effective infantry in the game, you need to fight them back with your own cost-effective, and you need to use the Roivet 90s, because you can get what? You can get 2 squads of Roivet 90s in Zeldas for the price of 1 Gavatian Zelda.
Yeah.
And that's double the triple machine guns. That's basically twice as much firepower from the ground squad as well.
Yeah, and the thing is that these Gavati, they're great when they come like 1v1 versus infantry squads and maybe even 1v2, but when they get overwhelmed by superior numbers, they just fall apart just as quickly as any other squad. So although they're decent squads, like you said, they're just not cost effective, and you don't have enough of them to make a difference. And the Sherman, one of the Shermans, going to be going down there, and there goes the second Zelda. So now there's going to be the engagement onto the Givati. The OT M60PB is going to help make short work of those. And in the top side, well, the Padabranci and the Proletari going to be moving up to engage these Dorban LR and the Barkan in the top side of Foxtrot.
The Larvae's coming out. Is this the same Larvae as before? I think
he must have 2, yeah. I think he does. Because there's no way that would have reloaded that quickly, but the Spatbov not actually going to die there, so still got that fire support available. I think he only lost 1 infantry squad to that.
I think he did. On this top side, these Padabranchi are just cutting their way straight to Foxtrot, and that is very much done. I mean, really all Firestarter needs to do is just get another L15M, and he can kill off all these Givati in the bottom side.
And he's also got the Padabranci running across the top side using the smoke as cover. And that's soon going to find out where the Barkan is, and maybe even the command infantry there. These Zeldas are going to be hit by the OT tab. Gavati's also using that smoke to engage, but the L15M going to be coming in there to take out the Gavati and the Zelda. That's going to go down to defending that compound. So he's got the Gavati in the bottom side of the forest. That's going to be engaged by multiple Pez squads. And then we've got the Padabranci, wow, just slaughtering the Gavati with the help of the VVP and the M84.
This Barak 2 kills off the L18 though, which is a little bit tragic for Firestarter.
Yeah, but in the top side of Foxtrot, Padabranci's just walked through that defense and killed off the command. So Foxtrot now under Firestarter's control, +4 in his favour. That Padabranci's slowly jumping about, is going to find the Hapak squad there, and that's going to die very quickly. There's no way that is getting out of there, and then that's going to just turn into a +6 lead, and this game's going to end very quickly.
If it weren't over before, it is now, that's for sure.
I mean, just look at how many units are left on the map for Entech. There's literally nothing left. There's a safe fan recon helicopter in the bottom, and a NAFA in the top side, a Tiram 5 Blazer sitting behind his land spawn. But other than that, just the Magak and the Macbeth, and that's it. That's literally it. on the entire map. And then if we look at what Firestarter has, well, not only does he control basically the whole map, but he has a lot more units. And sometimes, yeah, you just got to be cost efficient. And in this case, Firestarter just overwhelming NTech with his cost efficient infantry. And yeah, just really good job by Firestarter in this one to make this happen. And it looks like NTech's actually going to make us wait to see this +6 tick up to the 500 points.
Yep, I mean, Firestarter, not even going to bring a CV in for Charlie, that's how fast this is going to be, but we may as well talk about how this game went, because it's pretty much over. It all happened with that Macabre 3B, with that push into Alpha. It was just pretty badly managed, and then I think he just made a few very sort of questionable buys, like the Lavi over the infantry, the CV over more infantry. I mean, to be honest, most of the stuff over more infantry, he should have been probably buying infantry.
L18 cannot shoot down the Lavi. It's been annoying Firestarter for the majority of the game. Not going to actually shoot it down. But yeah, you're definitely right. I think the CV investment was just way too much from NTech, and I think the Macabre 3B going down. Yeah, I basically said that hopefully he doesn't lose this to the Bumbar, and then he loses it to the Bumbar. And it was just like one of those things that you could just see coming a mile off. If it wasn't managed like correctly, it was definitely going to happen every time. And he knew the Padabranci squad was there, so to me it was very odd. But either way, just some CV sniping coming in here. NTech trying to get the Anafa machine gun onto the command unit in Bravo.
World's strangest heli rush.
Yeah, I mean, it's working. He's going to take out that command unit, that's for sure. And he's just going to be flying over Alpha to find the next one. So, I mean, he can slow down this victory from Firestarter, but he's never going to stop it happening. Macabre 3 being brought in again. L15 going to be coming in with its bomb combo, trying to get their cluster munitions onto target. This is why people don't really use cluster munitions very often, because they're not very accurate. But the Macabre is still taking 5 points of damage there. The L15 did go down. Anafa's going to be trying to be shot down by the L18, but the Pass Praga is going to defend Hotel, and no more CV sniping for now.
Not for now. I mean, one of the reasons why the L15 is so good is because the cluster bombs are really slow, and it's quite easy to dodge out of them if you see it coming, if you reverse or if you push forward in time. Depending, I mean, sometimes people predict it and they'll put the cluster bombs behind the enemy tanks. That's what I usually do. I usually put it just behind. But either way, they're relatively easy to move out of. But one of the reasons why the L15 is so good is because the HE bombs drop a lot faster, even, and also that Padabranci 90 just wipes out that poor Macabre 3B, which is the story of this game, to be honest. But the L15, when you drop those HE bombs, they drop a lot faster, which means you can stun the tank so it can't retreat away from the cluster bombs. And that's why a lot of people like it, apart from the really cheap cost.
By the way, after 25 minutes and 27 seconds, Firestarter reaches the Conquest victory. And with 2,630 kills to 1,775 losses, Firestarter definitely showing a dominant performance with that Yugoslavian deck. Yeah. Anything to say, Val?
I mean, commiserations to NTech. Good try, I suppose, and well done for making it this far in the tournament. But Firestarter is, at the end of the day, aside from being a bit of a nerd, he is very good at Wargames. So no shame in losing this one, I think, for NTech, and probably a few lessons to be learned.
Yeah, so we covered most of the stuff at the end of the game there, so I think we're just going to leave it there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Bye.